let's learn about rulers. I have before me a few different rulers that are technically meant for quilting, but I use them for both quilting and pattern making, as well as a French curve that I use for pattern making. Now, these quilting rulers are essentially a grid in ruler format, and each of these boxes is 1 inch. So, along this black line right here, that's 1 inch away from this edge. This black line is 1 inch away from this edge. Each of these little lines in the middle is 1/4 of an inch. So this line is 2 1/4 inches, 2 1/2 inches, 2 3/4 of an inch. And then the little mini lines in between the quarter lines are 1/8 of an inches. When it comes to quilting, these rulers allow quilters to both measure 3 inches from this edge and cut this fabric at the same time. I find them very helpful when it comes to sewing because I can draw a line with this ruler and then draw a perpendicular line at a perfect 90-degree angle to it by matching my initial line up with the lines going this way on the grid before drawing my line going the other way. It also allows me to add seam allowance to a project extremely quickly because if I want to add a 1/2 inch seam allowance to the edge of that line, I line that up with the 1/2 inch mark on my ruler, draw, and immediately have a 1/2 inch line away. Some other rulers also come with other angles on them, like a 45, 36, 22-degree angle for these wedges. By using these angles on my ruler, what I can do is, if I want to draw 45 degree out from this line, I line up the 45-degree mark with that line, and then draw, and that right there is 45 degrees. French curves are incredibly useful because they allow you to draw smooth curves. So let's say I wanted to turn this line right here from a corner to a smooth curve. So I would just take my French curve and line it up with the 2 lines that I want to draw a smooth curve between so that it curves away from a straight line into a curve, back into a straight line again with no harsh points. Different French curves have different shapes, but I only have this one. If you'll notice, this area is a gentle curve, whereas this area is a much more extreme curve. So if I want to draw an extreme curve, I'll use this side. If I want to draw a gentle curve, I'll use this side. If I want to draw a curve going from gentle to extreme, I use this side on the gentle part, this end on the extreme part, or I could even flip it if I want it to go the other way. Both of these styles of rulers can be a little bit tricky to get used to using, but they really do make pattern drafting so much faster. There are also a lot more styles and shapes of both of these types of rulers out there. These are just the ones I have on hand. Good luck on your pattern making and possibly even quilting journeys!